Topic our news in Washington this morning. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol is gearing up for its 7th hearing.
This right here is a live look at the Capitol building, where lawmakers are expected to focus on the Capitol attack itself and what they say are connections between extremist groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers and people in former President Trump's orbit.
All of this as a federal judge delivered a significant blow to Steve Bannon's defense for previously refusing to cooperate with the committee's investigation. ABC's Jay O'Brien has the latest in Washington.
This morning, the January 6th committee preparing for its 7th hearing, zeroing in on the Capitol attack itself. USA! The committee trying to make the case former President Donald Trump's own words inspired his supporters to breach the Capitol, trying to stop certification of the 2020 election.
President Trump summoned the mob, assembled the mob, and lit the flame of this attack.
The hearing expected to focus on radical extremists who took part in the assault. A former spokesperson for the militia group the Oath Keepers planning to testify as members of that group face seditious conspiracy charges tied to the riot. Lawmakers also expected to call Stephen Ayers, an Ohio man who pled guilty to his role in the Capitol attack. The FBI says Ayers posted on social media accusing President Biden and Democrats of treason and warning of a coming civil war. Today's testimony coming after an about-face from Steve Bannon, the conservative firebrand and one-time Trump strategist, who now says he'll speak to the committee on the eve of his criminal trial for ignoring a congressional subpoena. Bannon previously refused to cooperate, citing executive privilege despite leaving his Trump White House job in 2017.
From the start, he said he's willing to comply if they just resolve the privilege issue, which he feels he's bound by.
A judge yesterday disagreed, saying the presidential power to withhold information doesn't cover a former government official who worked for a now former president. Federal prosecutors writing, quote, "The only thing that has really changed is that Bannon is finally about to face the consequences of his decision." The January 6th committee spent 8 hours Friday interviewing former Trump White House counsel Pat Cipollone. Members say his testimony could be played in today's hearing or the following hearing, which aides say the committee is planning to hold next week. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
Former Overstock CEO Patrick Byrne, an ally of former President Trump, is expected to meet Friday with the lawmakers investigating these attacks. That's according to 3 sources familiar with the matter, one of those sources saying no ground rules or topics have been defined for this closed-door meeting. A spokesman for the House Select Committee declined to comment, as did an attorney for Byrne. He has actively supported efforts to push claims that the 2020 election was stolen. That included attending a White House meeting in December of that year with Trump and others to discuss strategies to overturn the election.